Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's section is trunkport configuration. It is a simple concept, so let's break it down. Before that, in the last section, we created two floors. One is floor 1, another one is floor 2. And configured VLANs and assign it IP address for floor 2 devices. And test it as well. Okay. Did anyone notice which VLAN the floor 1 servers belong to? It will be default VLAN. Why? Because here you can see we did not configure the port connecting the server to switch. So by default, you can see the server port is FA15 on switch. The last port is FA14 and 12 and 13. Here you can see FA14, FA15, FA12 also default VLAN. So let's mark it done. VLAN 1 and the color is green color. Yes. Okay. Here we are using the floor 1 dark blue color and the floor 2 light blue color, and VLAN 1 has green color and VLAN 10 yellow colors, and finally VLAN 20 pink color. Just for our identification, these are the VLAN 10 device, these are the VLAN 1 devices, and these are VLAN 20 devices. That's all. This is not compulsory or essentials. Let's see what is trunkport and how is it used. Finally, trunkport conditions. Okay, first, what is trunkport? A trunkport is used to carry traffic from multiple VLAN over single cable. Okay, how is it used? Let's simplify that. Here I am going to change my floor 1 VLAN 20 devices place. Here I move it financial activity devices VLAN 20 because here I am going to connect trunkport. The trunkport where will be connected? The trunkport will be connected from switch to switch. Okay, in my case I have a 2 switch. If you have a multiple switch, you can connect them. Okay, let's connect it. Go to the connection and select crossover cable. I think you have learned it. Why we are using crossover cable to connect switch to switch in my cable section. Okay, let's connect it. The floor 1 switch port is gigabit 1. 2 floor 2 switch port is gigabit 1. You can connect any port that you want. I am going to connect gigabit 1 port. Okay. Now let's mark it trunkport. Okay, now you can ask me a question like why we are using the trunkport and what are the usage of that. Okay, let's explore it. For an example, the floor 1 VLAN 10 computers want to communicate with floor 2 VLAN 10 computers. That's time we need trunkport to communicate. Similarly, okay, here you can see the floor 2 lecture computers. Floor 2 lecture computer has VLAN 1. The VLAN 1 computers want to access the floor 1 VLAN 1 servers. Here you can see the floor 1 VLAN 1 servers. That's time we need a trunkport. And finally, the VLAN 20 devices you can see here. The floor 2 VLAN 20 laptops want to communicate with floor 1 VLAN 20 laptops. That's time we need a trunkport. If you have multiple switches and configure it VLAN, you can use trunkport to enable communication within same VLAN ID devices. The same VLAN ID devices means VLAN 10 to VLAN 10, VLAN 20 to VLAN 20, and even VLAN 1 default VLAN to default VLAN. Okay, I have not configured it yet. Just I connect a wire from switch to switch. Yes, but I can communicate default VLAN. Default VLAN means VLAN 1. VLAN 1 on floor 1 with default VLAN computers on floor 2. Here you can see I am going to send a message from floor 1 VLAN 1. VLAN 1 means default VLAN computers PC4 to floor 2 VLAN 1 PC50. Here you can see I got success. Similarly, I am going to send a message from floor 2 VLAN 1 computers PC90 to floor 1 VLAN 1 PC4. Here you can see I got success. Similarly, I can access the floor 1 servers. The floor 1 servers from default VLAN on the floor 2. For an example, I am going to take a DHCP server, okay? DHCP server, and go to the floor 2 VLAN 1 devices. Let's take a PC18. Okay. Go to the desktop and click IP configuration. You know, I enable it IP address manually. In my last section, I was enable it IP address manually. Now I am going to click a DHCP. You can see I got DHCP request successful. Oh, it is possible because the trunkport allows data traffic or message for VLAN 1. VLAN 1 means default VLAN by default without any configuration. That's all. However, the other VLANs like VLAN 10, VLAN 20 are not working. You can see I'm going to send a message from floor 1 VLAN 10 device PC6, okay? PC6 to floor 2 VLAN 10 PC10. You can see it failed. Similarly, I'm going to send a message from floor 1 VLAN 20, let's take a laptop 0 to floor 2 VLAN 20 laptop 3. You can see I got failed. So we need to say manually a trunkport. You should allow traffic even VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. That's all. Okay, let's say it. Okay, the trunkport connected on the floor 1 switch. Port number is gigabit 1. Okay, now open the switch and navigate to the CLI. Okay. First, we need to enter privilege mode using the command en. Now, we need to enter the global configuration mode. The command is config t. Now, we need to go to specific port. The specific port means, in my case, gigabit 1. Okay, let's type int range gig 1. The int means interface and range, and gig means gigabit. Then port number. You already learned this in my previous section. Okay, press enter. Now type switch port mode trunk. Here you can see the switch port refer single port or set of port. In my case, the gigabit 1. Okay, and mode trunk. Here you can ask me a question like why we need to change the mode as trunk, because by default the switch port it is in dynamic auto mode. Okay, so I need to carry traffic from multiple VLANs. The multiple VLANs in my case VLAN 1, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Okay, over single cable. These are the single cable. Okay, let's press enter. Now we need to say the trunkport. You should allow the traffic VLAN 1, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Okay, let's say it. type switch port trunk. Hello with VLAN 1, 10 and finally 20. Here you can see the switch port means the gigabit 1. Okay, I changed the mode as trunk. Now the switch port, which means the gigabit port 1, allow with VLAN, in my case VLAN 1, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Yes. Here you can ask me a question like, why we need to say even the VLAN 1? Because the trunk port automatically allows VLAN 1 traffic. Yes, I previously showed you. Okay, even though the switch allows it before the configuration. Yes, before the configuration. Now we must specify it when setting up with other VLANs. The other VLAN is VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Okay, now press enter. Okay, we have successfully configured trunk port. Now let's check it is work or not. Just come back to see the trunk port configuration. Type the command show int trunk. Here you can see my trunk port is gigabit 1. Yes, and status trunking and allow with VLAN 1, 10 and 20. You can see here. Okay, now open the switch on floor 2. Why? Because we need to configure both switches where the trunk port is connected. In my case there are 2 switches. Okay, one is configured, one switch is configured. Now the floor 2 switch. If you have a multiple switch, you should configure each switch. Okay, now open the switch, go to the CLI. First enter to the privilege mode. Now enter global configuration mode, config T. Now go to the specific port. The port is trunk port connected port on switch. In my case gigabit 1. Okay, int range gig 1. Now change the mode, switch port mode trunk. Now we need to say the trunk port. You should allow VLAN 1 and VLAN 20 and VLAN 10. Okay, which means the port number gigabit 1 port. Okay, the gigabit 1 port on the switch. The port should allow data traffic coming from VLAN 1 and VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. That's all. Okay, switch port trunk allow with VLAN 1, 10, 20. I previously told you why we need to include even the VLAN 1. Yes. Okay, press enter. Okay, now we have successfully configured trunk port both switches. Okay, now let's check it. Just come back, use the command to see the trunk port configuration. Show int trunk. Here you can see the gigabit 1 port, data trunking, and the VLAN allow it on 1, 10 and 20. Yes, it's successfully configured. Now we have successfully configured trunk port on both switches. Okay, now let's check it if it is work or not. Okay, first clear the previous messages. Okay, you know we have assigned IP address for each devices. Yes, you must see each devices there has IP address or not before the testing. Hope you can see here the VLAN 1 color and name has visit. Let's repeat it and name it VLAN 1. Okay, now I'm going to send a message from floor 1 from VLAN 1 and PC4. 2, floor 2, VLAN 1, PC 19. Here you can see I got successful. Okay, now I'm going to send a message from floor 2, VLAN 1, PC 16 to floor 1, VLAN 1, PC 5. Here you can see I got success. Okay, let's move to the VLAN 10. I'm going to send a message from floor 1, VLAN 10, PC 1 to floor 2, VLAN 10, PC 11. Yes, I got successful. Okay, let's repeat it. Now I'm going to send a message from floor 1, VLAN 10, PC 1 to floor 2, VLAN 10, this time PC 10. Hope you can see I got failed. Why? What are the reason? Let's check the IP address of each device. 192.168. Yes, okay. Let's take the PC 1 IP address. Oh, these are the reason. You can see here the both device has IP address, but the IP address class is different. You can see here this is 169, this is 192. The IP address class is different. That is why I got failed. Most people make mistake in this step, which is IP address. No matter how much you do and configure it correctly, it won't be useful, because if you make mistake in IP address step. Okay, let's change it the same class IP. Okay guys, now it's correct. Both are same class. Don't worry guys, we will explore what is IP and their classes in our IP section. Okay, but keep in your mind when you check your local area network devices. Okay, first, before the testing, you check the devices has IP address or not. The second thing, check the devices has same class IP address or not. Okay, now let's check the device. You can see the file device is PC1 and PC10. PC1 and PC10. Okay, let's check it. Repeat. PC1 and PC10. Here you can see I got successful after the error. Now I am going to send a message from floor 1, VLAN 20, laptop 02, floor 2, VLAN 20, laptop 2. So you can see I got success. Okay, now let's see the trunkport conditions. No, there are two simple conditions. Okay, there are two simple conditions. For an example, here you can see one is a trunkport. The trunkport allow communication between same VLAN ID. You know the VLAN ID, VLAN 1, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. This is called it VLAN ID. The trunkport allow communication between same VLAN ID. Okay, for an example, the VLAN 10 to the VLAN 10, the VLAN 1 to the VLAN 1, and the VLAN 20 to the VLAN 20. The second condition is the trunkport do not allow the communication between different VLAN. For an example, the VLAN 10 to the VLAN 20 can't communicate. The VLAN 10 to the VLAN 1. Same like the VLAN 20 to the VLAN 10. That's all. Simply the trunkport allow communication between same VLAN ID. That's all. Okay guys, today's section is over. This is called it trunkport configuration. Similarly, you can create and configure trunkport based on your requirements. I hope you have fully understood the concept of trunkport. If you have any doubt, comment below. Stay tuned for upcoming Cisco series. Until then, bye.